appraiser's office is notified that, or that has information, they go and they change the appraisal. My understanding is that in some or many cases, and that's what I'm asking for an answer, is that your staff may go out there, doesn't tell anybody that they visited, they come back, they revalue the property, the homeowner does not know about it at all until they get their trim notice. And then they only have 30 days to file any kind of petition and find out what that is. So maybe you could explain the process of, because it's a whole process, and that's only part of it, about what your philosophy is on dealing with the customers and giving them upfront.
I'll be glad to. When we get a complaint about an assessment, the field appraiser who works that area, all the field appraisers have certain areas they work. And I've done that on purpose because they get to know that area instead of going all over the county. They know what's in that area. They can spot a property that has additions to it with no permits, like Ms. Lee did and lost her homestead exemption. But they go out and look at that property and they tell that person within a week, we'll have an answer for you. And they contact us and we tell them what it is. You're right about the fact that it's on the trim notice, but we always tell them call back Thursday or Wednesday, and the man that works that area will look at it before then. We'll have an answer for you. But we don't always lower assessments, raise them, or anything else. He did go out there and find out the dimensions of the house is incorrect, either too big, too small, or something else.
Anyone else?
And to defend the property appraiser, is there's 170,000 parcels in this county. 198,000. So it is impossible for them to not make a mistake somewhere. And this is every property appraiser across the state, not just here in Lake County. So as a consequence, when they bring that up to the property appraiser, typically they try to make a good faith effort to remedy that problem. And then if the remedy is not there, then they can go to the value adjustment board for remedy and make their case in front of a friendlier audience than before. And then, of course, if they don't succeed there, they have 60 days to take it to circuit court. But that would be the entire process for challenging.
Questions? Yes, back here.
Me? Fine?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This question is for Ms. Lee. During your introduction, you didn't really tell us about your work and education, your experience of why you're qualified. You say you own a business. Please tell us more about your education and your work experience.
Well, I took 10 years to get a 2-year degree right here in Lake Sumter County. All that time, though, I did come out with a 3.55 average, so the time was well spent. But basically, I have my own business. It's called Superior Interiors by Family. And basically, I go in and out of people's houses 10 times a day. I know the difference between real wood floor, pergo, tile, carpet. I know the difference between Formica and any of the marbles or any of the other structures. I know the difference between a Price Pfister and a Moen and the different things. And those all, you can have the outside of a house. They all look, they can all look the same, especially if you have like these, what I call the cookie cutter subdivisions. But then what's on the inside of that house does have a direct effect on that value of that home as well. So you can't always go by just the outside of the house and the square footage. One of the things is that, one of the things that I would do if I became the property appraiser is that I would use the appraisals that come from people like Mr. Price and use them to just insert into the system, because one of the things that bothers me is that the property appraiser's office uses outside dimensions to figure their square footage, where a true appraiser is going to use the actual inside dimensions just in case there's a difference as heated and cooled square footage.
We do mass appraisals in Florida, and we are not allowed to go into structures unless we're invited in. We've got to look at the outside and make assumptions.
This is going to really show my ignorance. What would be wrong with when you buy something, that's what you pay taxes on, and when it sells, that's what you pay taxes on? Wouldn't it be a lot easier?
You want to address that to one candidate?
Well, Mr. Havill, I guess, sir.
Well, you pay, what kind of taxes are you talking about?
I'm talking about your property appraisal. If I buy something for $200,000, why not just pay on $200,000 until it sells? And if it sells for $400,000, then that raises it.
No, we've got to follow the market. And like I said, you've got a cap
But why do you have to follow the market?
because of Amendment 10. You've got a 3% increase per year until you hit the market value of that house. You've got a $200,000 house today. When you bought it, it was $100,000. You, under the law, the legislature passed it. You have to go up 3% a year with your assessment until you hit that market value of $200,000.
You're required to go up 3%?
Yes, sir.
Except this past year, it's actually, if you look at the Constitution, it says 3% or the difference in the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, which actually this past year was 1.5. So technically, if you got your trim notice and it went up more than 1.5, it was in violation of the Constitution. So please read those in the Constitution as well.
What you got to remember too is price is not the same thing as value. You may have
How is it a
someone
free
who
market?
sold a house, it's a distressed situation, and had a low price, but it may be way below the market value. And on the flip side of that, you may have somebody that really, really, really wants a piece of property because their mother-in-law lives next door and they want to pay extra to live there. and they might pay extra for that house above what its market value is. So price and value are not the same.
And also, just to answer your question, as a matter of policy, we have allowed property tax to be the method by which local governments pay for their services. So it would be very difficult, and it would be some degree of unfairness if you were paying, like my father started the gun shop, built the gun shop in '57, you should be paying taxes on a '57 level when a new gun shop might be built this year and pay taxes, same gun shop, same size, one's paying tax on $25,000, the other on $2 million.
But he's been paying it for 30 years.
Yeah, but only on $25,000. And so, as a matter of paying for local government, it's a policy that we've embarked on. And
Unfortunately, that's exactly what leads to the elders losing their homes.
Right.
We're going to take two final questions, and I'd like someone that hasn't asked a question yet to please ask.
How much does the property appraiser get paid?
It's about $131,000 a year.
Thank you.
Let me tell you one quick thing though. When I ran in 1976, I was making over $80,000 a year. This position paid $24,000.
Okay.